Just a reminder, if you haven't done so, to sign up for public comment. All right. Call to order Florence City Council meeting for Monday, June 2nd, 2025. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Counselor Van Houten.
Here.
Counselor Stiefel.
Here.
Counselor Mergelman.
Here.
Counselor Gardner.
Here.
Counselor Stone.
Here.
Counselor McKinnon. Mayor Wolf.
Here. Item 3, public comments. Kevin Mawalji, speaking on transparency.
Good afternoon or good evening, members of the council, city staff. Kevin Mamalji with the Florence Reporter, P.O. Box 19, Florence, Colorado. As the owner and managing editor of the Florence Reporter, there's not a single aspect of the newspaper's operation that I don't oversee. This includes personally delivering more than 300 newspapers to homes across Florence and Canyon City. Not only does this give me an opportunity to cultivate relationships with our subscribers, it's also an opportunity for them to express their displeasure with the city's inability to operate transparently, a dynamic that continues to plague this body today. What's wrong with them? I thought they were elected to represent us. Why won't they respond? I'm not surprised. It's more of the same. Nothing has changed. It's just Florence. These are just a few of the more common grievances that I hear, that I've heard over the past several months, but it's not just them. When I spoke to my contact with the Colorado Bureau of Investigation regarding the city of Florence not reporting local crime statistic to the state as required by law, they found it extremely odd that I could not get an explanation from the city. On numerous occasions, both privately and publicly, city staff has implied that I'm seeking a certain narrative concerning the city of Florence's inability to be transparent with citizens. To date, the city of Florence is still refusing to respond to numerous inquiries from myself and others seeking information about crime and law enforcement. The following questions continue to go unanswered. Why hasn't the city of Florence submitted any data to the Colorado Bureau of Investigation? Are officers with the Florence Police Department certified in crisis intervention training? Who is the public information officer for the city of Florence? Is constant contact currently being used by the city of Florence to communicate information about crime? The strategy that you guys continue to follow and pick and choose who you respond to is not helpful. These are 4 very basic questions that could provide a lot of understanding of what's going on in City Hall. I haven't gotten an answer. I did receive a response from Councilwoman McKinnon, and she asked for time to think about her response. It's been like 3 weeks. I don't understand why these can't be answered. I'm writing an article, publishing it in a few weeks. That article can read as just something that's covering local government, answering some questions and providing information to readers, or it could come off as scandalous with these questions not being answered. I don't jump to that conclusion and try to lead readers to think something scandalous is happening. When they say, why won't they respond? I say, I don't know. And they said, that's really weird. You think they would just answer those things? So, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Kevin. Consent agenda. Item A, considering approval of minutes. B, considering approval of expenditures, approving a liquor license for Big D's, and authorizing the mayor to sign a letter of support for the Wholesome Project. At this time, would any council member like to pull any one of these items? I'd like to pull item D. Okay. Do we have a motion to approve consent?
I'll make a motion. We approve consent agenda A, B, and C.
Do we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item D, consider authorizing the mayor to sign a letter of support on behalf of the City Council for the Wholesome U.S. grant application to the U.S. Department of Energy, point source carbon capture large-scale projects. City Manager.
So we were actually asked by Wholesome to pull this for right now. They are looking at getting a little bit of further information and such, and then they will come back with the item at potentially a later date. But they requested that staff go ahead and pull the item. Since it was Monday when they made the request and the agenda had already gone out, staff determined it would be better to leave it on the item and allow council to pull it from the consent agenda so we could explain why it was being pulled off.
Okay, and they say there's a chance they'll be asking for this in the future.
That is correct. They just don't want to bring it forward right now. They need to gather a little more information and such.
Okay. Could we have a motion then to table this item?
I'll make a motion to table consent agenda D.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Old business, consider adopting the second reading of ordinance number 5-2025. City Manager.
So this is essentially a housekeeping item. This is your ordinance for the new salary structure that's based on position classification and offers salary ranges, just the second reading.
Okay. Do we have any questions from council? Okay, do we have a motion, please?
Okay, I will make a motion, adopt the second reading of ordinance number 5-2025, an ordinance creating a new base salary structure for the city of Florence, Colorado, based on position classifications.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Counselor Stone,
Yes.
Counselor Mergelman,
Yes.
Counselor Van Houten,
Yes.
Counselor Stiefel,
Yes.
Counselor Gardner,
Yes.
Mayor Wolf.
Yes. Item 6, new business. Award funding under the City of Florence's outside agency funding request program for 2025. We just had a 1-hour, 65-minute workshop prior to council meeting. I'm going through this. I'd like to thank all those entities out there who made the request. Thank the council for all their hard work on this, and for the city staff for helping prepare all of this. At this time, we need to approve each one of our grant awards, and we have to do them individually. So, starting with Florence Arts Council. Do you have a motion?
Okay, I'll make a motion. Award Florence City.
Excuse me here. I should have asked at this time if there was any public comment.
Yeah, because
Okay. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Award Florence Arts Council funding in the amount of $2,800 under the City of Florence's outside agency funding request program.
Do we have a second?
I'll make a second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Counselor Stone,
Yes.
Counselor Gardner,
Yes.
Counselor Van Houten,
yes.
Counselor Stiefel,
Yes.
Counselor Mergelman,
Yes.
Mayor Wolf.
Yes.
Okay.
Florence Chamber of Commerce.
I move to award Florence Chamber of Commerce funding in the amount of $2,600 under the City of Florence's outside agency funding requests program.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Stiefel,
Yes.
Counselor Stone,
Yes.
Counselor Van Houten,
Yes.
Counselor Mergelman,
Yes.
Counselor Gardner,
Yes.
Mayor Wolf.
Yes. Florence Historical Archives.
Award Florence Historical Archives, Inc., funding in the amount of $750 under the City of Florence outside agency funding request
Do
program.
we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Van Houten,
Yes.
Counselor Stone,
Yes.
Counselor Stiefel,
Yes.
Counselor Mergelman,
Yes.
Counselor Gardner,
Yes.
Mayor Wolf.
Yes. Florence Merchants Association.
Okay. Award Florence Merchants Association funding in the amount of $3,600 under the City of Florence's outside agency funding request program.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Counselor Stone,
Yes.
Counselor Gardner,
Yes.
Counselor Van Houten,
Yes.
Counselor Stiefel,
Yes.
Counselor Mergelman,
Yes.
Mayor Wolf.
Yes. Florence Pioneer Museum and Research Center.
I move to award the Florence Pioneer Museum and Research Center funding in the amount of $2,000 under the City of Florence's outside agency funding request program.
Do we have a second?
Second?
Roll call, please.
Counselor Stiefel,
Yes.
Counselor Mergelman,
Yes.
Counselor Van Houten,
Yes.
Counselor Gardner,
Yes.
Counselor Stone,
Yes.
Mayor Wolf.
Yes. Florence Senior Community Center.
I'll make a motion, we award the Florence, what is the exact name? Senior Community Center funding in the amount of $2,400 under the City of Florence's outside agency funding request program.
Do we have a second?
Second?
Roll call.
Counselor Mergelman,
Yes.
Counselor Van Houten,
Yes.
Counselor Stiefel,
Yes.
Counselor Gardner,
Yes.
Counselor Stone,
Yes.
Mayor Wolf.
Yes. Fremont County Crime Stoppers.
Award Fremont County Crime Stoppers funding in the amount of $900 under the City of Florence's outside agency funding request program.
Second. We have a second.
I'll second that.
Roll call.
Counselor Stone,
Yes.
Counselor Gardner,
Yes.
Counselor Van Houten,
Yes.
Counselor Stiefel,
Yes.
Counselor Mergelman,
Yes.
Mayor Wolf.
Yes. JJ's Helping Paws.
I move to award JJ's Helping Paws funding in the amount of $1,500 under the City of Florence's outside agency funding request program.
Do we have a second?
Yes. I second it.
Roll call.
Counselor Stiefel,
Yes.
Counselor Mergelman,
Yes.
Counselor Van Houten,
Yes.
Counselor Gardner,
Yes.
Counselor Stone,
Yes.
Mayor Wolf.
Yes. Miller Quito American Legion Post 25.
Award Miller Quito American Legion Post Number 25 funding in the amount of $1,000 under the City of Florence's outside agency funding request program.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Stone,
Yes.
Counselor Gardner,
Yes.
Counselor Van Houten,
Yes.
Counselor Stiefel,
Yes.
Counselor Mergelman,
Yes.
Mayor Wolf.
Yes. Nature's Educators.
Okay, award Nature's Educators funding in the amount of $750 under the City of Florence's outside agency funding request program.
Do we have a second?
Second?
Roll call.
Counselor Stone,
Yes.
Counselor Van Houten,
Yes.
Counselor Stiefel,
Yes.
Counselor Mergelman,
Yes.
Counselor Gardner,
Yes.
Mayor Wolf.
Yes. Pioneer Day Board.
I move to award the Pioneer Day Board funding in the amount of $1,700 under the City of Florence's outside agency funding request program.
Do we have a second?
Second?
Roll call.
Counselor Stiefel,
Yes.
Counselor Van Houten,
Yes.
Counselor Mergelman,
Yes.
Counselor Gardner,
Yes.
Counselor Stone,
Yes.
Mayor Wolf.
Yes. All right, looking forward to what happens with all those programs over this year. All right, new business. 6B, consider adopting a resolution amending the ARPA tree maintenance program. City Manager.
So this is just an amendment to the original ARPA tree maintenance program resolution that you all passed in the program itself. This goes into some detail about where trees can be replanted on here and just provide some basic guidelines for this. Much like the original program, it doesn't give you specific locations where we're going to plant each and every tree. It's just giving overall guidelines for staff to follow as we go through and replant to replace the trees that we have removed.
We thank you for all the detail in the action form. Are there any questions here?
Have we started replanting any of them yet?
No, we have not.
No. So I was wondering, somebody asked me about the trees in the cemetery. I don't think those are in the program.
No, those are from previous times when trees were taken out or anything. But no, we have not started replanting any that are associated with this program at this time.
And I do believe you did state in here that there will be a good record keeping of where all the trees have been replaced.
That is correct.
I have a motion to approve, to adopt Resolution 6-2025.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution number 6-2025, a resolution amending the ARPA tree maintenance program for the city of Florence, Colorado to include guidelines on tree replacement and replanting locations.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Gardner,
Yes.
Counselor Stone,
Yes.
Counselor Van Houten,
Yes.
Counselor Stiefel,
Yes.
Counselor Mergelman,
Yes.
Mayor Wolf.
Yes. Item 7, council reports, city council reports. I'll start with James.
So I attended the federal prison outreach, community outreach program. Really interesting, one of the programs that they do for their offenders and for communities. I believe it was nationwide, or was it? So they basically train dogs. They have a CARES program, so they actually train dogs for individuals, the helping animals. So it was really interesting to see how they train those dogs, what kind of treatment that they're getting inside the facility, and it was really impressive that they get the dogs when they're, what, 8 months old, 6 months old, something like that. So fairly young, to just train them to see the symptoms that people have and that they need help with. So I thought that was pretty impressive.
Yep.
Thank you.
Matt?
No report.
Rudel?
Went to the Fremont Economical Development Council meeting. There was an interesting proposal put forth that the FEDC, the Economical Development Council, join forces with the regional chamber for capital raising programs. Not quite sure what that means, but there was a lot of people from Canyon City very involved in that. And they've turned it over to the executive board of directors to come up with something to present to the membership of both of those groups. And it's going to be interesting to see them meld those two organizations together and how that's going to work, but that's the presentation. I went to the chamber after hours the other night for at the venue at Oak Creek, and Farmers Market opens this Thursday.
Thank you. Brenda?
I would like to commend the city crew for the cemetery. It looks really, really nice. They did a really good job this year.
Tammy?
I also attended the business after hours, and also I've had a lot of adults that are thrilled that we have adult swim, and other parents with their kids are pretty happy about the swimming pool.
All right, Mayor's report. I'd like to remind the council that we are sponsoring the band again. The band's name is Normal Like Us. All right. So if you feel inclined to make a donation towards that, just bring it in here to City Hall. June is Colorado Bike to Work Month. All right, so if you live close like Brenda, it's pretty easy, and Cortland has to.
What time do you need me here?
I can only make it once this month.
Yeah.
With me, it's crossing the highway.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good. I just like to see people get out on their bikes. It's just good for you. I attended the Fremont County Noxious Weed Board meeting, and it was right after that big heavy rain, and everybody's report was, yes, they have weeds, and every weed has sprouted and is growing, and they're trying to keep up. The only thing that really related to Florence was keeping track of tamarisk and Russian olives as they come back down along the river park and right here at the Union or at the bridge, heading up towards the high school. So if those start to come back, I know Fremont Conservation Group will help us with some mitigation, I think, if we need it. So, I also attended the federal complex community relations meeting, and what I liked about it too was not only they trained the dogs, but what the dog handlers were getting out of it. and how much I think it was a rehabilitation for them, because they come out certified, and they can go on and use that as a career. And it was really, 3 of them there, and they handled their dogs a little bit. Also tended the business after hours. A nice venue there. Hope to see that get used more and more, because it helps Florence. The Regional Water Board for this month was canceled due to a lack of quorum. We did not have one representative from every entity. I'd like to remind people of 2 things. One, this Thursday at 5 o'clock, 5 to 6:30 at Pathfinder, is the CDOT open house. CDOT hosts community open house for input on the Colorado 115 safety improvements and resurfacing project from Canyon City through Florence. That's Thursday at 6 o'clock. They are in the planning phase of it. Planning is going to take through 2026, and which means it'll probably go into 2027 some. And we just received word that construction will probably not happen till after 2030 due to the new state budget considerations. But the planning is going to go ahead. So, I think it's important that people are there and make yourself heard. Businesses, people that live along 115, people that ride their bikes or use it. So that's this Thursday, 5 o'clock at Pathfinder. And then the last thing is Coal Creek is having their playground grand opening this Friday from 11 to 1. And then we've all been invited to go up to Coal Creek if we want, just for their new playground. Okay. All right, that's all I have. City Manager.
So Ashley, Cortland, and I met with SCJ Alliance, the consultant firm that you all selected for the master plan, to officially launch the master plan project. So we are working with them to identify community stakeholders and such. We'll be sending that out shortly. They want to do some interviews with that. Gave us some great plans for the community input portion of the plan, and I think that they're going to do a great job with that. They plan to have it done before the end of this year. So even with the updated timeline, because we had to push it back to give extra time for responses, they anticipate being done before the end of 2025. The quarterly tree report is included in the city manager report. Please note that there will be an update to that last phase, one of them that is marked down as being removed. They were planning on removing it either Thursday or Friday. This, of course, goes out Thursday. They ran into some difficulties with a homeowner, so one of those trees on there has not been removed at this time. So unintentional error there, as we have planned for it to be down by the time you all receive this. So.
What's the situation if a homeowner won't let you do it?
I will need to talk to Sam more about why this one's classified as dangerous. Was it full removal? Was it pruning? Those sort of things. And then we'll go from there, and we may have to send them some sort of mitigation letter or something like that. So without knowing exactly what the situation was, he just gave me that kind of 30,000 foot overview. Just wanted to make sure you all knew that there is an error in there, but we are working to figure out how to rectify that.
Anybody have any other questions on some of the other items that were listed and detailed there? Okay. And it just looks like we got a few things coming up here that will be presented in the next couple meetings, okay? City Attorney.
No report from me.
Okay. City Clerk, anything on the pool or 4th of July?
We just started today our round 1 of swim lessons. Round 2 of swim lessons, registration is open on the website. July 4th planning will start this month. I'll start mapping out the park. Food vendors and parade participants, all registrations are live on the website. So if you know someone, definitely encourage them to sign up.
All right, thank you.
Oh, and also thanks to Whit Wyatt for their generous donation to July 4th.
All right. Thank you very much.
What date is the movie night this year? Are we doing? I'm sorry, what? Movie in the park, are we doing that? What day is that?
Yes, Movie in the Park is happening on June 14th. We're playing Shrek at dark. Bring a chair.
Okay. Okay, any other questions? All right, item 8, executive session. Would somebody like to make a motion as it's read there?
I move to enter into executive session pursuant to Colorado Revised Statute 24-6-4024F, discussion of a personnel issue, specifically the city manager's performance review and not involving any specific employees who have requested discussion of the matter in open session, any member of this body or any elected official, the appointment of any person to fill an office of this body or of an elected official, or personnel policies that do not require the discussion of matters personal to particular employees. And I would like to invite the city manager and the city attorney.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Yeah, and just to clarify, I think we will start without the city manager, and then we'll invite her in. But you don't need to change anything
Okay.
about the motion.
Second.
We have a second. Okay, roll call, please.
Counselor Stiefel?
Yes.
Counselor Van Houten?
Yes.
Counselor Mergelman?
Yes.
Counselor Gardner?
Yes.
Counselor Stone?
Yes.
Mayor Wolf?
Yes. All right. We adjourn into executive session. Okay. All right. City Council meeting is back open at 8:13. Again, we did not make any decisions within the executive session. We continue to look at the city manager's evaluation, and we'll be formalizing that at a later date. Okay. We have a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
We have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned at 8:14. Oh, pass this down to. Pass it on down.